here I am again. First of all, I was thinking, oh, I've just dropped the glove. Suddenly had a thought just before doing this, that if you're a new subscriber, first of all, thank you so much and welcome. You might think I'm a bit of a mad scientist if you're jumping in and this is the first video you've seen. I recommend that you go back to experiment number 1. I'm not quite sure how many videos ago it was, but it's really the start of what I'm doing now, because I don't want to keep repeating myself and make long videos as to what's in what and what I'm using. I will briefly touch on it and I'll put it all in the description below, but to really understand what I'm doing, just go back a few videos to experiment number 1. And let me grab my old painting. So I wanted to show the dried result of this one. This is way too busy for me. I just got a habit of overcomplicating things. So we're going to pare this back. There's elements I like, there's elements I don't. Aussie Floetrol is not the be all and end all, okay? I intend to use it not in every painting. I intend to use it where I think it will add the right kind of effect. I'm still doing a Seascape, but I'm doing it on a 10 by 10 canvas. I'm going to be doing quite a few of these now, these sizes, and there is a reason for that, which will all become clear, hopefully in the not too distant future. So that was quite nice actually, but too busy for me. So what I'm going to do is run through the colours from the bottom up. This is gold, PVA 352 I think, and to this I've added pearl white, quite a lot of pearl white, so that's more of a sandy colour rather than just gold. Quite nice consistency actually. So it leaves a mound and it goes. This is very excited about this colour. I actually ran out of this in my last painting and it's only just come today, about an hour ago, so it's a little bit frothy because I just made it up. But this is the Colour Shift 19190 Aqua Flash, and I do like this, what this does in this technique, interacting with my teal. This is Golden Fluids teal. This is my Amsterdam greyish, no, not greenish blue. Oh, it's a little bit thick, I have to thin that down. And this is the same thing, but with some black added. It's amazing how you instantly, when you stir your paint, you understand consistency. And it's something that does come with practice. The more you do it, the more you'll know. But actually, for this particular technique, having different consistencies is a good thing because it produces some different effects. Because I'm being a little bit more random about how I'm flinging the paint down. I'm in a bit of a blow caution to the wind mood this afternoon. I think I had about 3 hours sleep last night, so I'm a bit on the delirious side, I think. Right. Okie dokie. Move those to one side. Now, I have here my 50/50 house paint titanium white mix. It's my base mix. Okay. That gives you some effects, but you can control it. And then I have here, just off camera, I don't think you can see, I have my 3 different cell activators, stroke lacing activators for want of a better word. I'm not a cell fan, okay? They're okay in the right context, so I'm calling this lacing effect, water effects. So the first one is my cell activator, which is my normal pouring medium, Amsterdam titanium white, with my PVA pouring medium. I'll put my normal pouring medium in the description below, and I have added about a tablespoon of acrylic polymer varnish gloss. Okay, now mix that in really well. The second thing I have here is exactly the same as what I've just mentioned, but I have added some propylene glycol just to see what kind of effect that I've been getting. Well, I'm really pleased with the effects that this gives, actually. It really does allow, it makes the colours merge in together and almost makes them look like a watercolour. And this is the Aussie Floetrol. So this is just my base, okay? These are my base colours. And I want to make sure that I get quite a lot of the paint off. Okay, that'll do. So there's still paint on there for the next stage. So with the house paint in the middle, there are some, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch to call it a cloudy effect, but it does look cloudy. Just changing my gloves. This is the cell activator, titanium white, PVA and varnish. Now this gives quite subtle effects. I'm hoping it's not too thick. Next one is exactly the same, but with the propylene glycol added. And just notice that what I've done to my kitchen roll, I've put it into a point. And I'm going to go from one direction, because you don't want all your white to be, you know, at one end. So I'm going to, this next wipe, I'm going to go from this direction. And I'm just dipping it in my mix like you would paper mache. And I'm going to go right in the middle with this one, so I'm not swiping over the whole of the painting. Ooh. Wow, didn't expect that to react like that so quickly. And the last one is the Aussie Floetrol. We're going to go from this end. Now, what I don't like is this harsh line there and this harsh line there. So all I'm going to do is with the back of a spoon, actually let's get this dark blue first. With the back of the spoon, I'll just dip the spoon in the paint. Just going to do that. So I have stopped making my paint up in large quantities because I find myself not getting through it. I buy these small cups from Amazon, they have lids, and I will make my paint up, my colours, so I always make up 20 grams of paint to 40 grams of pouring medium and then water to the right consistency, and then the lid goes on. And I find that is an easier quantity to manage. Whereas my whites, I will make that up in, obviously, my base whites, quite considerably large quantities. So my whites, my black, and a colour that I use a lot is pearl white. I will make those up in large quantities. So this bit through here, I'm going to do the same thing with the colour shift paint. What shall I do with the Aussie Floetrol? No. Didn't like that bit there. So what I expect to happen is for this to continue to develop. And for this to continue to develop. And this should stay as it is. Let's give that a torch. So I'm just going back in with the varnish, the cell activator with a varnish. Just because I don't like this bit here. And I think there we go. Voila. I'm not going to do any more. The other thing I thought about adding, you don't want to be doing things like that either, is somehow high flow white, but in very, very, very small quantities. But you know, maybe that might be a future painting because I think I'm going to leave it as it is. So stay tuned for the dried results, but this is 5 minutes after, and I do anticipate all of this here to grow and develop. Not the Aussie Floetrol. But this is the last Seascape I'm going to do for a little while. I have another idea. Same size canvas, but I'm going to move on to more of a landscape size style with different colours. They're all ready and waiting here for me. So there you go. Stay tuned for dried results. Dried results. It really shines actually. The colour shift paint with the teal. It's just a really lovely mix. I'm trying to get it to, there you go. Changes, do you see? Blue, green, blue, green. This is dried a lot darker than I thought. I would have preferred that to be a little bit softer at the top, but it's interesting, isn't it? Really lovely, interesting effects with the my homemade cell activator, recipe below. Lovely lacing. The Aussie Floetrol, just a little bit there. But what's quite nice actually is it's created, you get that cloud effect with house paint, don't you? It's like the water's going over the sand at the bottom there. So yeah, sneak preview of not the next video, but the next video. Working on some landscapes. So thanks for watching.